Opening Convocation. This is a special day for our newest students and an important day for the university community. We're pleased that you're joining us in McFarlin Auditorium and from around the world through the event webcast. We're glad that you're here to celebrate this historic occasion. As we continue our preparations, please enjoy the music of the Imperial Brass. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome SMU's newest students, the entering class of 2026. Students are grouped with their residential commons, led by their faculty in residence, residential commons director, and student program coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And the alumni marshals, led this morning by Alumni Marshal Mary Beth Kunze. They have returned to SMU, their alma mater, to welcome you, the 2026 entering class. They guided you through Dallas Hall, past the flag of the United States, the flags of the states of this union, and the flags of the homelands of many of our international students. These flags acknowledge the fact that even though you come from different places, you are now here, and you are now all Mustangs. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and greet representatives of the faculty of SMU, led by Faculty Marshal Brandy Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome the platform party and the president of SMU, Jay Hartzell. Leading the platform party is Chief Marshal Monty McGee and Platform Marshal Heather Deshawn. Chief Marshal McGee is carrying the Bradley Kent Carter baton, which signals the start of all SMU academic ceremonies.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Opening Convocation. I'm Rachel Mercy, Executive Vice President and Provost. We gather here today for the 112th Opening Convocation of Southern Methodist University. I'm grateful to all who have gone before us to establish and enrich this event. They, like you will be, are custodians of SMU's heritage. Professor Jim Lee, Faculty Senate President and Professor of Early Christianity, will now give the invocation. Please remain standing.
Let us pray. Loving God, giver of all good gifts, we give you thanks and praise for your many blessings. We thank you for this beautiful day on the hilltop and for this community of friends, learners, and seekers, united in our reasoned pursuit of truth, beauty, and goodness. As we embark on the journey of this new academic year, may we receive each gift that you have prepared for us. With open minds, humble hearts, and healing hands. We ask for special blessings upon the newest class of Mustangs, whom you have called by name and endowed with inherent dignity. As we celebrate new beginnings with joy, excitement, and gratitude, may we remember that our flourishing is found not by serving ourselves, but by serving one another, especially those who are alone, forgotten, and in need. And with the gift of your grace, may we do all the good that we can, by all the means that we can, to all the people that we can, for as long as we can. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Please finally be seated. I want to extend a warm welcome to all of you. First, to our first-year students, our new transfer students, to the parents I see down front, partners, family, and friends of our students, to our faculty and retired faculty, to our administrators, staff, and special guests, and to all of our alums. A special welcome to those who are watching from virtually, wherever they are. I hope for you it is not too early in the morning. This is when the president would make a joke that the provost is not a morning person. Students, you just completed your processional, which is one half of the university's most symbolic traditions, the Rotunda Passage. The Rotunda Passage is comprised of two parts, a processional and a recessional. You will complete your recessional, the second half of this tradition, at the end of your undergraduate career. It's hard to believe we're talking about that already. At the baccalaureate service during commencement weekend. This today marks the beginning, and that will mark the end of your time as an SMU undergraduate student. You were guided through Dallas Hall Rotunda today by our alumni marshals. These alumni are parents of entering students who, like you today, participated in Rotunda Passage and serve as custodians to this important tradition. These alumni symbolize the continuity of our community, a community with a rich heritage, an exciting present, and an ambitious future. Will the alumni marshals please stand so we may recognize you? Thank you. At this time, I want to recognize certain members of today's platform party and the audience. I will acknowledge this is the long list of names that we have to do at these academic ceremonies, so bear with me. I will ask these individuals to stand when introduced and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all introductions are made. Jay Hartzell, President of SMU. Oh. That one's okay. If you want to give him a round, I'll live with it. All right, now we're going to see how you follow directions. Rich Templeton, Chair of the SMU Board of Trustees. Professor James Lee, President of the SMU Faculty Senate and SMU Trustee. Deans representing their schools and areas include Janan Jayarik Ramaraja, Elizabeth Martin Armstrong Dean of the Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences. Brian Stone, Leighton K. Farrell Dean of the Perkins School of Theology. Michael Harris, Leon Simmons Dean of the Annette Caldwell Simmons School of Education and Human Development. Samuel Holland, Alger H. Meadows Dean of the Meadows School of the Arts. Todd Milburn, Dean and Tolleson Chair in Business Leadership of the Edwin L. Cox School of Business. Dinesh Rajan, Mary and Richard Templeton Dean ad interim of the Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering. Robin Posen, Dean of the Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies. Holly Jeffcoat, Dean of SMU Libraries. Heather Deshawn, our platform party marshal. And lastly, two more, Casey Majay, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, and Jasmine Darjean. I did it wrong. Darjan, she told me to do it the French pronunciation. President of the student body. I'm going to get it right by the end of the year. Please join me in welcoming these individuals. I would also like to welcome President Emeritus R. Gerald Turner and SMU trustee and chair of the SMU Alumni Board, Laura Howard. In addition, my colleagues from the President and Provost's office, plus other individuals who've made this important contributions to this institution. Please, one final round of applause for all of them. Throughout its history, SMU has been served by distinguished faculty who are deeply devoted to their students. Our faculty are the intellectual lifeblood of our university. It's with great pride and pleasure that I ask the faculty, emeriti, and faculty in service to stand and be recognized. Thank you for being here. Students, as you entered the auditorium, you were led by the faculty and residents for your residential commons. Will the faculty and residents please stand again to be recognized? Now, I have the great pleasure of officially welcoming this incoming class to this honored SMU tradition. To our newest Mustangs, we are so glad you're here. I want to just spend a few minutes talking about what this moment means. Every one of you has brought a remarkable story that brought you to this day. Years of studying, preparing, hoping, pursuing goals, and overcoming challenges. Along the way, you've been encouraged by family, mentors, teachers, coaches, and friends. Countless choices and sacrifices, both yours and theirs, helped get you here. Now, after all that work, you're surrounded by your new classmates and members of an academic community who are very eager to get to know you. You have much to learn and take in the coming week of Stampede, and I'm sure your mind is filled with questions. Have I picked the right major? If you didn't, you can change. What will be my hardest class? That's gonna be hard to drop. You're gonna stick it out. Where's the nearest spot to grab a tea or a Diet Coke? That's easily solved. Or if you're like me, what sneakers should you wear? Because I'm always trying to figure out how to make my Carolina regalia look a little more SMU. I'm gonna move all the way here so you can see. My real message to you, though, is to take a moment to pause. It's a whirlwind, I know. Take in the fact that you're here at Opening Convocation, beginning your first year at our university. This is your moment. You made it, you earned it, you are now one of us. Many of our faculty joined us today so they could personally welcome you to our community. And that welcome comes far beyond this room, from our Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, campus partners, supporters, DALEC civic leaders, and perhaps most of all, our global alumni network of more than 160,000 Mustangs. You, our students, are the reason we, faculty and staff, love what we do. Today is one of our favorite days of the year. Thank you for bringing your creativity, energy, optimism, talent, and drive to our campus. We are stronger because you are one of us. I'm also feeling quite excited because I have some ideas of what's ahead for you. Just 1 year ago, I was effectively a freshman on campus, serving my first year as SMU's provost. Like you, I had lots of questions. Like you, I was learning my way around. I still don't know where all the bathrooms are. And like you, I could not wait to get started. So many of my own firsts are fresh in my mind. My first Boulevard, my first pair of red and blue sneakers, and I feel like it needs to be said, my first women's volleyball game, because it brings me to a personal invitation to each of you. Some of you may know that President Hartzell and I joined SMU after years of service at the University of Texas. Him longer than me. And we are living proof that former Longhorns can become passionate Mustangs. In fact, we would love your help cheering on our home team. Please join President Hartzell and me at Moody Coliseum on September 9th at 8 p.m. I know you're going to write that down. You're getting out your phones right now. For SMU Volleyball takes on Texas. We need a sea of red and blue spirit to overwhelm any burnt orange that attempts to show up. And this is part of experiences that are going to create the memories of your time here at SMU. Over the past year, I've built new friendship, discovered my favorite campus spots, and learned what it means to be a member of this ambitious, caring, vibrant community. You are going to have so much fun making your own hilltop memories. Whatever your SMU story will be, it begins today. Congratulations, class of 2030. It is now my pleasure to invite Rich Templeton, Chair of the SMU Board of Trustees, to welcome you on behalf of the board. Following Mr. Templeton, we will hear from Casey Majay, Senior Vice President of Student Affairs, and Jasmine Darjan, didn't even take me a whole year, President of the SMU Student Body. Mr. Templeton.
I'm honored to be here. Today is a proud day for the SMU Board of Trustees as we welcome our newest students to campus. You all have arrived during one of the most dynamic periods in our school's history. Our university is expanding its teaching, its research, athletic impact, attracting exceptional people like you, and building national and global recognition. Last year, we were even named a top vibe school by Forbes magazine, whatever that means. Somebody can help me with that. None of this is by accident. The board, university leadership, and many other supporters and partners spend a great deal of time investing in our future. Much of our work happens behind the scenes, but we're guided by a relentless drive to accelerate SMU to the forefront of America's universities. So you can ask why. Because every step forward creates more remarkable opportunities for our students and graduates. While you focus on the 4 years ahead, we're focused on the 40 years that follow. Increasing the lifelong value of your degree starts with strengthening our reputation to open more doors for you. It means deepening the bench of our global alumni network, which loves to help fellow Mustangs succeed. And it shows up when a hiring manager or a graduate admissions officer sees SMU on your resume and recognizes excellence. As a proud father of an SMU graduate, I believe you've made a wise decision in choosing SMU. A simple lesson has guided me throughout my career, and it's one I encourage my children and colleagues to embrace as well. Leave every person and every organization better than you found it. This is our commitment to you, and we hope it will be your commitment to each other. When you cross the graduation stage, the university will be better than you found it, because we're all working to make it so. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, welcome to the Hilltop, and go Mustangs. Now it's my pleasure to invite Casey Majay, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, to say a few words. Casey?
Thank you, Rich. I love this time of the year on our campus. In the days before our students arrive, there's a lot of preparation and activity. But most of all, there's anticipation. On move-in weekend, the Hilltop comes alive as we come together as a campus community to help our newest Mustangs settle into their new home. I had a chance to meet many of you, and let's be real. Spending hours carrying boxes, moving furniture, and navigating residence halls in the Texas heat, it's quite a bonding experience. But it illustrates perfectly how we, as Mustangs, show up for each other. We saw parents holding doors for their son or daughter's new roommate. We saw teammates escorting those who were lost and answering all their questions along the way. Being a Mustang is about excellence and achievement, yes. But it's also about recognizing that none of us succeeds without help. This is a great lesson for your first weekend on campus, because college is not something you are meant to navigate alone. At some point during the next 4 years, every one of you is going to need help carrying something. Not just a box, not just a mini fridge, something far more complex. You might struggle in the class. You might join an organization and discover that working with human beings can be complicated. You might become a student leader and realize that leadership would be much easier if you didn't actually have to lead people. You might try something new and discover you're good at it. Or you discover you're absolutely terrible at it. Which brings me to the F word. Not that F word. The F word I'm referring to is failure. Many of you have been incredibly successful your entire lives. That's part of what brought you to SMU. But sometime during the next 4 years, you're going to fail at something. You may bomb an exam. You may not get an internship. You may run for a leadership position and lose. Someone might break your heart. You may discover that the dream you've had all these years isn't your dream anymore. When that happens, you don't need to run from it because you don't have to face that challenge alone. This is one of the safest places you'll ever have to take risks, make mistakes, recover, and more importantly, try again. The strongest students are the ones who recognize when they need support and are willing to reach out. Today, President Hartzell is going to talk to you about your academic experience at SMU and the remarkable education that awaits you. But we also want you to know that at SMU, we care about the whole student. We believe your success goes far beyond what happens in the classroom. It's about your sense of belonging, your leadership development, your relationships, your physical and mental health, your values. That is the work of Student Affairs. We help students discover new interests through more than 200 student organizations. We promote physical and mental well-being through healthcare, recreation, and wellness programs. But we know that some of the most important support you'll find at SMU won't come from an office or a program. It'll come from the people that are sitting around you. And some of these people sitting here today in this room will be tremendous sources of support for you moving forward. Somewhere here may be your best friend, your future best friend, your future business partner, someone who will stand in your wedding, or in my case, your future spouse. Someone who will challenge you when you want, challenge what you believe and help you grow. Someone who will introduce you to an opportunity that changes your life. You just don't know who they are yet. You're at the very beginning of an experience filled with possibilities you cannot yet imagine. 4 years from now, when you walk across the stage at commencement, you'll still be you. But I can promise you, you won't be the same person sitting here today. That's what makes today so exciting. So, entering students, welcome to the Hilltop. I urge you to make the most of this experience and pony up. With that, it's my great pleasure to invite Jasmine Darjan, your SMU Student Body President, to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Majay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SMU. My name is Jasmine. I'm a senior from Grand Prairie, Texas, and I'm honored to welcome you all to the Hilltop. Here at SMU, there are no shortage of ways to get involved, no matter your interest. When I first came to campus 3 years ago, I jumped headfirst into that ocean of opportunities. I joined Student Foundation, found an on-campus job as a tour guide, played intramural volleyball, and of course, joined our Student Senate, which ultimately led me to the position I am so grateful to hold today. But while these experiences have been incredibly meaningful, it's the campus life and energy that have really made SMU feel like home. My favorite tradition is Celebration of Lights, our huge winter event with a 30-foot tall Christmas tree, live music, food, hot cocoa, and the entire SMU community coming together to celebrate. Taking the number 2 spot for my favorite traditions is boulevarding, our version of tailgating, and the place to be before a home football game. It's a great way to meet friends and, of course, scout all the free food at all of the tents along the boulevard. Now, I was also asked to give you all some advice as a student. I'll save you from the typical, these 4 years will fly by and go to your professor's office hours. While those are true, I'm sure you'll hear it 1,000 times more this week. Instead, I want to encourage you to adopt a go-for-it mentality. My philosophy these past few years has been, I'd rather regret trying and possibly failing than regret never trying at all. If you imagine your future self looking back on your college days, I doubt you'll want to ask yourself, what would have happened if I interviewed for that role, or joined that organization, or talked to that person in my class? So don't even give yourself the chance to have those regrets. Make bold moves, even when it scares you. College is the time to explore and make mistakes. It's the perfect time to put get comfortable being uncomfortable into practice, because often the space just outside your comfort zone is where the most growth happens. I wish everyone here an amazing SMU experience, and as always, pony up.
Thank you, Mr. Templeton, Casey, and Jasmine. It is my distinct honor now to introduce SMU's president, J.C. Hartzell. Jay has made service to the comprehensive university experience his lifeblood. And by comprehensive, I'm referring, yes, to the scholarly pursuits, the incredible classroom experience, but also to the highest quality intercollegiate athletics, a great experience boulevarding, and to enriching and meaningful campus and community engagement. Jay loves students, and students love him as well. Having had the occasion to try to navigate across campus trying to get to a meeting on time, when inevitably you will ask me to take a picture of you with him, which I will happily do. He's engaged and committed to getting to know you and ensure that you have the best possible SMU experience. Please join me in welcoming your president and mine, Jay Hartzell, to the podium for this year's address.
Thanks a lot, Provost Mercy. It's really a pleasure to see you all here today. It feels like when you're an academic, we think in academic years, not calendar years. This is like New Year's, Christmas, whatever your favorite holiday is, all wrapped in one. It's a great day, and I remember my own convocation as a first-year college student, and it was a moment to reflect and think, wow, I've actually gone to college. And in addition to kicking off your respective college journeys, this is also a great day for our university, as we welcome the biggest and most accomplished class in SMU history. And you can tell all the sophomores and seniors, even the student body president, that I said it. As Provost Mercy said, you have a lot to be proud of, and we are proud that you're here. To our entering students, our newest Mustangs, congratulations, and more importantly, welcome home. Welcome to SMU. The vast majority of you moved in on Friday or Saturday, and in the days ahead, you'll be learning your way around campus, you'll meet new friends, you'll discover your favorite places to hang out, and eventually to study. And you'll probably get lost once or twice. As Provost Mercy said, we've been here about 15 months. I'll admit I still don't know all the building names. I live in some degree of fear that I'll be asked for directions as somebody is going across campus, and I won't know what to tell them. So I feel both your joy and I feel your pain. Those things are part of college experience, and college is a lot of fun. When you're figuring out where the Chick-fil-A is and looking forward to your first boulevard, I hope you'll spend some time thinking about something more fundamental too. The convocation today marks the beginning of your time as a student academically. Such landmark occasions call certain questions into focus, like, why are you here? I'm not asking why you chose SMU over some other school. I think those reasons are pretty obvious. This place lives at the intersection of strong academics with small classes taught by excellent faculty, a vibrant social scene, top college sports, inspiring arts, all within one of the most dynamic and opportunity-laden cities on the planet, Dallas, Texas. I'm talking about something bigger, and that is, why pursue a university education at all, especially at an academically rigorous and intellectual place? Why do this harder and this rarer thing? Why dedicate 4 or more years of your life to this challenging experience? We who serve on the faculty and the staff are thinking about these questions too, just from the other side. We're asking ourselves, what should an SMU education do for you that you could not accomplish in some other way? What should be the hallmarks of an SMU undergraduate degree at the end of the day? These are big questions, and I would argue that they are more relevant now than ever. You've arrived at SMU at an extraordinary moment in our 115-year history. We're on a mission to ascend to the forefront of American universities while technology and society are evolving at a breathtaking pace. Technology, especially artificial intelligence, is transforming how we learn, how we work, and how we communicate. Across the globe, data is available almost instantly with just a few taps on a screen or just by asking, "Hey Siri." So in today's world, I think it's fair to ask, if information has never been easier to access, if the store of the world's data is available at your fingertips, why does a great university like SMU still matter? Put differently, what can you look forward to or expect from a college education at a school like this? A few weeks ago, I found myself thinking about this while standing truly halfway around the world. My family and I had a bucket list opportunity to visit Turkey this summer. We saw a lot of amazing things, loved the food, the people, the vibes, from the cities to the countryside to the seaside. But as a college professor, one experience stood out to me as I was confronted by an ancient predecessor to SMU's Fondren Library. When we toured the ancient city of Ephesus, our tour guide paused in front of the Library of Celsus, one of the greatest libraries of the ancient world. Like buildings on this campus or other top college campuses, the library was built to honor a great person, Celsus in this case, and as a public good to help educate people. Nearly 2,000 years ago, people traveled from near and far to access the knowledge preserved there. At the time, crossing the library's threshold was the equivalent of signing in to Claude or ChatGPT. But their knowledge fit onto some 12,000 scrolls rather than a data center somewhere up in the cloud. Standing before the library's facade, I found myself thinking about being back here, back at home, and being with you. People in the ancient world were wrestling with some pretty important questions that still resonate today. What is knowledge is worth saving and sharing? How does that knowledge influence our decision and our actions? What does it mean to lead a virtuous or a good life? How do humans interact with the world around them, including each other and the body of knowledge that we all have in this moment? Those ideals were reflected in 4 statues that stood at the library's entrance. They represented 4 virtues meant to be attributed to Celsus, but also desirable for all. There was episteme, or knowledge, Sophia, or wisdom, Enoia, or intelligence, and Areta, or excellence. Thinking about those 4 statues, I am convinced that the same virtues celebrated 2,000 years ago warrant our celebration today, and they will be central to your academic journey at SMU. First, knowledge. At our core, great research universities really do 2 things. We discover and we disseminate knowledge. What this means for you is you have access to extraordinary professors who are at the leading edges of their fields. They will push you, they'll challenge the way you think about the world, they'll serve as your mentors, as your guideposts, and for many of you, long after you leave the hilltop. My request of you will sound trivial, but trust me, you'll have days when it is not. Go to class. I know that sounds obvious, and you're rolling your eyes right now and mentally calling me Unc, and that's fair. But showing up consistently is one of the most important choices you will be able to make during your 4 years at SMU. And please don't stop there. Jasmine was right. I'm asking you to do the thing she mentioned, go to office hours. Knock on a professor's door. Ask the question that feels a bit silly and no one else seems willing to say out loud. Some of the best conversations at SMU start with a question, can you help me understand something that came up in class? Some of you came from high schools where going to see your teachers was the norm, but many did not. I'm here encouraging you to take that step. even if you have to make up an easy question that you already know the answer to, and just to have a reason to go see a professor in their office hours. And I'll let you in on a secret. One of the key reasons the vast majority of our faculty went to graduate school and became professors is because we love to teach. Take advantage of this. If over the next 4 years your relationships with our professors only exist within the classroom, you'll have missed something important and valuable from your college experience. And that leads me to the second quality, wisdom. Wisdom has multiple layers or interpretations, but for today, I'll take it as the ability to apply knowledge in the face of complexity in order to solve problems or to make good choices. We have all probably met people we think are wise. That's often correlated with experience, and for good reason. The message for you today is that you shouldn't expect to already have reached peak wisdom. Cut yourself some slack. You're going to learn by doing. As the university president, I'm asking that you please do not do anything totally stupid. If you do, please do something that causes no real harm. But back to wisdom and learning by doing. Look for opportunities to try things. That could be a research opportunity with a professor. It could be an internship with an amazing Dallas organization or corporation. Let me offer you 2 practical pieces of advice. First, start by getting involved in 2 things outside your coursework. And I mean 2, not 10, because I've read your resumes. Again, not 10. Choose one connected to your academic interests, and then one completely outside of them. You'll find that some of the most transformative growth opportunities happen just outside your comfort zone. The second piece of advice is to connect with some of our alumni. They may not all be wise, the ones today here are great, but I can tell you that they're more experienced and they want to help. You have an incredible superpower at your fingertips over the next 4 years. If you reach out to someone who looks interesting, maybe helpful, and ask them for a few minutes of their time to hear their story, to learn about how they got to where they are, they're going to want to help. And no time will it be easier to do that than now as a college student. Our alumni love this place, and they want to be part of your journey as well. That brings me to the third quality, intelligence. That word also has lots of layers and meanings. I'm going to start by stipulating that you all have enough raw intellectual horsepower to be classified as intelligent. Intelligent enough to go on and do some truly special and fantastic things. That's part of how you got here today. So I'm going to focus on a different meaning of that word. The ability to think critically, to weigh evidence, the ability to craft an argument that brings reason and evidence to bear, and be open to counter arguments and to changing your mind. That brings me back to another lesson I learned at Ephesus. At one point, our tour guide, who was a lovely guy, quoted a statement often attributed to Socrates. The statement says, "The children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise." It described all the things that are supposedly wrong with young people. They're lazy, they're disrespectful, they don't listen. You may have heard versions of this directed at your own generation. Our guide's argument was that old people have complained about young people for thousands of years. That is probably true, but the problem is that Socrates almost certainly never said it. That quote appears to be generated much later and somehow attributed to Socrates, it turns out, far after the fact. The point of this is not that the tour guide got that wrong. The lesson is that it's important to learn to check your facts, to check what the experts, whether it's Siri or ChatGPT or Claude, whatever it is, what they tell you. Go back to multiple sources, examine and weigh the evidence. Take the time to separate fact from assumption. That habit is at the heart of a great liberal arts education, and it matters more now than ever. You're entering adulthood at a moment when AI can generate answers and entire research papers, speeches, PowerPoints in seconds. Search engines can deliver millions of results instantaneously. Social media can make almost any claim seem credible enough if people repeat it enough. But none of these tools can relieve you of the responsibility to think for yourself. In fact, I would argue just the opposite. As information becomes easier to create, the ability to evaluate it becomes even more valuable. The next few years of your life are about much more than consuming information. You're here to question it, to test it, to debate it, to understand where it comes from and whether it deserves your trust. A great university is not a place where everyone thinks the same way. It's a place where people from different backgrounds come together to discuss and to debate with respect and with civility. It's also a place where people learn to think critically. I've been laying out a case for college as a place where students and faculty and staff come together in order to gain knowledge, develop wisdom, and sharpen each other's intellects. I would argue that this leads to better judgment for all involved, the sort of judgment that will long separate us as humans from artificial intelligence. But there remains a question, to what end? This leads to our fourth virtue, excellence. One sense of this idea is that we should all seek to live up to our potential. Another is that excellence is really about a pursuit, not a destination. A third that has evolved over time is to associate this notion of excellence with moral virtue. Put succinctly, how do we act on a daily basis trying to live out a virtuous life? Can we get a little bit better today? By the relentless pursuit of making ourselves better, tapping into more of our potential, we are actually making the world around us a better place, not just for us, but also for others. This is going to show up lots of ways during your time here at SMU. Treating each other with respect, especially when you disagree. Making room for people with different views, ideas, and life experiences. Recognizing that what you do impacts others. And being willing to ask for help if it can help you improve. These are all parts of excellence on our campus. You're going to have great days here. You're also going to have hard days. You may struggle in a class. You may feel out of place in a new group. You may miss home. You may make a mistake. When all those moments come, please don't isolate yourself. Reach out early. As Dr. Majay advised, use the resources around you. Talk to a professor, a staff member, someone in your commons, a friend, an advisor, or a counselor. We chose you to be here for a reason. Asking for help is not the sign that you don't belong here. Instead, it is how you succeed here. It's how you can become more excellent. This case is one of the reasons I am so optimistic about your generation, and especially you and your classmates here at SMU. I know you hear a lot of negative messages. You're told your generation spends too much time on their phones. You're told attention spans are shrinking. You're told artificial intelligence will replace countless jobs. You're told that the future is something to fear. I reject all of that. When I spend time with SMU students, I see something very different. I see an entrepreneurial spirit, creativity, curiosity, ambition, compassion, drive. And I see a group of people who love to hang out with each other and do that extremely well. You will generally prove that point every weekend and on many, many weekdays. I also see people who care deeply about their communities and really want to make a difference. I see people who want to solve difficult problems rather than simply complain about them. And I see people who are eager to lead with integrity and with principle. That is why I am so optimistic about the future, both for our university and for all of you. I see a case that SMU is ideally situated to deliver on the promise of an exemplary education in today's world. The world ahead of you will certainly be different than the one your parents entered. But the qualities that help people thrive have not changed nearly as much as people sometimes think. The world still needs your knowledge, your wisdom, your intelligence, and your push for excellence. And these are qualities that you will develop here on the hilltop with our help. Let me spend one more minute on that ability to ask for help as I close with the fact that I have recently learned. It turns out that one of the songs from my generation has found a new audience with yours. The Goo Goo Dolls' song Iris, which became a soundtrack for Gen Z on social media. The live video of the band playing in the rain in Buffalo, New York in 2004 has been viewed more than 176 million times. The song has 3 billion streams worldwide. Frontman John Resnick said, "This is the biggest our band has ever been, thanks to younger audiences." Part of this song's popularity is that my generation made the best music. Yeah, that's right. And I am ready for your challenges on this. Bring it. As I said earlier, if you're going to bring it and you can disagree with me, you better bring data, you better bring evidence, and be open to changing your mind. But another part of the song's popularity is that it's really about being human. It was written for a movie where Nicolas Cage gives up immortality in order to be human and with the person and the woman that he loves. And here's a small part of the chorus. And I don't want the world to see me, because I don't think they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. Let me conclude then with a call to be willing to embrace a bit of Nicolas Cage's character as articulated in Iris. Be willing to be vulnerable in order to be seen. And know that at SMU, you not only have a community that wants to know who you are, we accept that who you are is a work in progress. We're here for it, and we're excited to see it all play out. When you walk back through the Rotunda several years from now, the provost reminds you four years from now, you will leave with much more than a diploma. You will leave with a deeper understanding of who you are, what you believe, and who you can become over the course of your lifetimes. Welcome to a university that will challenge you, support you, and expect great things from you. Because we believe you are capable of great things, and we can't wait to see what you contribute to our world. Thank you for being here. Pony up and go Mustangs.
Thank you, Jay, for those inspiring remarks. And yes, the edit around several years to graduate. 4, or take it up with your parents if you need more. Now, if I might conclude with a bit of history. The building we are sitting in today, McFarlin Auditorium, was a gift to SMU by Robert McFarlin so that we might have a center for our collective life and so that we could also serve the cultural needs of North Texas. With this, you, our entering students, join SMU's past as you prepare to be part of our present and our future. And now, will the entire audience please stand for the singing of the university's hymn, Varsity. The words for Varsity, if you have not yet learned it, are found inside your program. But this is when our alums are really going to step up and carry the room. Following Varsity, we ask our entering students and guests to remain standing for the recessional. After the recessional, you will hear from Vincent Phillips and John Martin on your next steps. Pony up and go Mustangs.
Students, you may be seated.